Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How you doing on this fine Sunday? My name is Jared Fuller, aka the Jared. This is the Sunday video update. Today's date is Sunday, April 6th, 2025. I am riding solo today on Dad's birthday. I love you, Dad. Happy birthday. Usually around this time, I would say joining me off camera today is my dad, and Amy's in the kitchen. She used to sit on this couch right here next to me, but she moves it out to the kitchen when they are here. Today is Dad's birthday, and he's headed to Saginaw to my brother Wayne's house, which after I'm done doing today's live stream, that's where I'm going to be headed. So I do have plans for this evening. I hope you've all been doing well. I hope you had a great week. My week was a bit it was a long week, a very long week. Lots to talk about. So, starting on last Sunday, around this time last week, we had some severe weather to contend with. There was a tornado watch for southern lower Michigan. And then eventually, like after the show last week, um, a squall line had came through Michigan and produced 12 confirmed tornadoes. 12. And Michigan averages about 15 tornadoes per year. And we had 12 tornadoes in one day. So we are, I think we're going to be breaking some records this year with tornadoes. And I hate to say that, but if we average 15 tornadoes per year, and we squeezed out 12 of them in one day, um, we're going to be breaking a record here. They might have to revise that statistic because it's a lot of tornadoes, especially one day. The closest tornado to us was right over here. Whoops, hit the lampshade. Sorry, Mr. Lampshade. Right over here in Shiawassee County. The tornado, it was an EF1 tornado, touched down over by Seymour Road, which is north of Owasso and east of Henderson, where my uncle lives. Does some damage. I came up from Owasso last week, and there was just debris everywhere all over the field. And it's like, holy fuck, that's serious. And then there was a shed or something of that kind. It was blown across the road. It was in the ditch on M52 just before you get to Henderson Road there at Deedix Bar and Grill. And it's like, oh my fucking word, it was crazy. We had some wicked weather. It didn't get as bad here though. Like we had the strong wind, we had thunder and lightning, we had the heavy rain, but we didn't have anything quite as bad as a tornado. But Shiawassee County, the county line is only 5 miles from here, and there were tornado warnings for Clinton County, which is to the southwest, Gratiot County, which is to the west, and Shiawassee County is to the south. And there were tornado warnings for all three of those counties. So it's like, okay, I mean, the shit's getting serious here. But the reason I really didn't panic was because there were, at the time, it was just it was a squall line, and they said, brief rain wrap tornadoes, which, that's still nothing to fuck with. But there were no like confirmed at that time. There were no like touchdown tornadoes. So it's like maybe it's just a bad thunderstorm. I mean, a straight line wind damage, that's enough right there. But Michigan did get 12 confirmed tornadoes in one day last week. So we're almost to the point of average for our yearly tornado count, and it all happened within 24 hours, which is really fucking odd. But yeah, so that was one of the big stories. And meanwhile, while all of that was happening, northern lower Michigan had an ice storm, and so that's they've been. Oh, I gotta sneeze. Oh, excuse me. Oh, sorry about that. But it was bad. We have Wilbur, the autistic YouTuber, in chat. Hey, Wilbur, how you doing? He says, hey, Jared Bear, I think I know who got your All Things Jared channel terminated. Please share, because I still am trying to figure out where I was in violation. That was one of the things I wanted to talk about this week, by the way. But the weather was the first thing. And yes, the second thing was I had my other channel taken down by YouTube, All Things Jared. And it was 1,600 plus subscribers, over 2,100 videos, nearly 4 years of work and dedication to that channel taken away. It was probably the trolls who mass reported your account. Maybe. I don't know, Wilbur. I can't pinpoint who actually did it or what, because I mean, although Wilbur, I will say that that's not entirely out of the realm of possibility, because it seems like after almost 4 years of having that channel, to me it's weird how after nearly 4 years, all of a sudden YouTube says bye bye. So I kind of get that, Wilbur. So you may have a point. The trolls who mass reported, yeah, probably. Um, But in any event, we're going to try it again. I launched another channel on Friday called The Jared Fuller Show. We're going to see how that goes. And if YouTube takes that channel down, then fuck it. I'm done. Um, and by the way, if you're like Wilbur here, and if you're new to the channel, I welcome you. Yes, I say F-bombs, I swear on this channel, as opposed to the All Things Jared channel where I had to keep everything rated G. Um, I kind of cut loose on this channel. This is the uncensored version of Jer Bear. And if you think you can handle me swearing and using profane language, then please, by all means, subscribe and stick around. But if you think you can't handle that, then take a hike. But it's the same guy. It's just here I'm more colorful with language. So that's why all of my live streams have the parental, um, the whatever you call it, on the thumbnail. So that way people know that I use language that may not be suitable for children. I even put it in the description of this channel that the content on this channel may not be suitable for children because of the profane language. So if you think you can handle me saying fuck on occasion, then I'm glad you're here. But if somehow the word fuck ruins your day, it makes your day crumble around you, then just move it along. Um, and speaking of which, there were 3 comments by a regular YouTuber who comes in here. He goes by Chewing Off My Toenail. This guy is funny. He's gross, but it's humor. So I don't have a problem with Chewing Off My Toenail coming into chat. So today he says, I woke up again today with a toenail growing out of my slice of toast. Then he says, to preserve my toenails, I will let them go swimming in Clorox bleach. Go swimming. Okay. And then he says, happy birthday to your dad, which I'm sure dad would appreciate that toenail. Thank you again so much for another week of your humor. Dad's not here at the moment. Dad went to Saginaw to my brother's house. Once I finish this live stream, that's where I'm going to be headed. So I figured I'd squeeze out a Sunday video on my dad's birthday today. He turned 67 today, and another trip around the sun, which I'm very happy about. I'm glad that I still have the one parent. It's weird having just one parent now. But I'm very grateful, always grateful to still have my dad while he's still here and while I'm able to cherish moments with him and spend time with him. So, um, so I'm very happy that my dad is still here and we can spend that quality time together as father and son. Um, it goes hand in hand with the grief, over my mother who passed away a couple years ago, and I miss her terribly. Um, that's why I say it's weird to have one parent now, because I'm so used to calling my mom and we'd be on the phone for hours at a time talking about random shit. And we would laugh at some of the funniest things. We would rehearse lines from like the Golden Girls, and because the Golden Girls was one of my favorite shows. And we used to rehearse lines back and forth to one another on the phone, and we would talk about movie lines like Mrs. Doubtfire. Robin Williams was like one of my favorite actors of all time. And so my mom and I, we would laugh together, we would cry together, we would have the best 3 hours on the phone ever, and it'd be 3 hours straight. We would talk for 3 hours straight, and it would be about random stuff. When I had cancer as a child, when we lived, memories from the farmhouse on Chapin Road. Um, Everything and anything, we would just put it all out there, we would have so much fun. Um, so, I miss that, having that quality time with my mom, and I try hard to have that bonding moment with my dad where we can laugh about things, and we can laugh together, we can cry together. Um, so yeah, I mean, life isn't fair, but while we're here, we got to try to make the best of it. So that's why. And Wilbur says, adding to my second message, the imposters of your channel will probably mass reporting your account. Yeah, I don't know, Wilbur. I wouldn't like, again, it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility. And I'm not saying you're wrong, but I just can't prove that you're correct, is what I'm saying. So, but I mean, I thought about that, maybe it was just the trolls who, they got tired of me pushing back. Well, they wouldn't like it here because I will fucking push back. Uh, and I am a nice person until you back me into a corner where I have to be a prick to everybody, and then the prick comes out, and then they say, "See, I told you Jared was a bad person." No, Jared is actually a good person. Jared is out here trying to make the world a better place for other people, and instead of wasting so much time being jealous and envying other people, you yourself could be doing essentially the same fucking thing, and you could put that energy into helping other people instead of trying to make other people's lives miserable, which, by the way, they didn't make my life miserable. I didn't cry over losing All Things Jared. It's a YouTube channel. Yeah, I had a lot of years on that channel, but it's just a YouTube channel. That's it. Um, they thought they won. They didn't win. It's a YouTube channel. I mean, it's not like they affected my finance, my financial whatever going on, because they didn't. It's not like um, they didn't do anything that would directly impact my life, is what I'm trying to say. It was a YouTube channel. It was for fun. Yeah, I'm glad that everybody enjoyed it, and I enjoyed entertaining all of you, especially Wilbur. Um, But, shit happens, man. You're not gonna please everybody. You can't. And I don't try. I'm just gonna be myself as I am every week. I come on this channel, and I'm just presenting myself to you, my real authentic self with the gloves off. Now on the other channel, I couldn't say F this and F that and all the other words. Um, However, here I can, and I will. Hello, King Bob. How you doing? So this is a side of Jerry Bear that you haven't seen. And yeah, I do have this fancy mic, and I got the setup for a podcast, although I don't have a podcast, but I have this XLR cable and the boom arm, which I gotta wipe off. It's dirty, dusty. Um, so I've got that going, and yeah, I've had this set up here for about a year or two. Actually, no, longer than that, about 3 years, 4 years maybe. I had this kind of setup where I have the XLR cables, and I got this Joe Rogan style mic. It's a Shure SM7B. It's a $400 microphone. Um, what happened to All Things Jared? I just outlined. You're late to the party, King Bob. So All Things Jared was taken down by YouTube because they said that I quote unquote was in violation of community guidelines, and they never really specified where or how or when. It was just a message saying that you violated our terms of service, and now you're gone on that channel. But Yeah, I would imagine you do think you know who did it, King Bob. I just had this conversation with Wilbur in chat. There's a lot of speculation. I'm thinking maybe it was the trolls, because they're low life loser ass motherfuckers who have nothing better to do than to sit behind a keyboard and think that they're, trying to they're making someone else's life miserable. I'm not miserable. I'm one of the happiest people you'll ever meet in your life. And I had that channel specifically to how do I wanted to inspire positivity. I wanted to bring people together. I wanted for everybody to get together and to show everybody that it's okay to be different, but we can all carry on. We can all enjoy the same things. I tried to make all things Jared like a melting pot, so to speak. And I did for a short time. Um, but people get pissed. They get mad. I mean, there's nothing I can do about that. Um, But it doesn't matter now. All things Jared is a memory. I'm glad that you all enjoyed it while it was there for nearly 4 years. But I'm on a new channel now. It's called The Jared Fuller Show, and, well, now I know why you put the parental advisory warning. Yes, because on this channel, I say "fuck." Now, on the other channel, I couldn't, but on this channel, it's the gloves come off. And this is a side of me, like I said, this is a side of me that no one's really familiar with. And I try to keep this channel separate and hidden from all things Jared because I know how parents are about their kids watching channels that contain swearing. So I wanted to keep this kind of away from all things Jared because I didn't want for my subscribers to detract from the purpose of all things Jared by coming over here listening to me using vulgar language. So, but you found me, and that's okay. It's the same guy. I'm the same lovable, caring individual. It's just I have a bit of a potty mouth from time to time, but I don't think it's anything that's going to bring the world to pieces. Um, some of your heroes out there, whether they be pop stars, movie stars, um, they probably swear more than I do on average in a day. So, it shouldn't come off as a shock. It shouldn't come off as, "Oh my god, Jared said the word fuck." Yes, I did. And so what? It's a word. It doesn't mean anything unless you put the meaning to it. Um, words have usages. They don't have meanings. They just have usages. It's how we use the word in specific context. That's all that means. Um, but here, I've been doing this channel for nearly 10 years. And all things Jared was just, it was kind of like my break. It was a way for me to just kind of go somewhere else and escape for a little while. And I enjoyed it. It was fun. Um, but the Jared Fuller Show, I'm gonna try it again. And like I said, if push comes to shove where the trolls want to take that down or YouTube finds me to be in violation, um, then so be it. Then I guess I'm done. Um, it's just people there. I'll put it this way. Wilbur and King Bob and anybody else out there who's watching and listening, the world is starving for kind, caring people all the time. All the time. I notice what's happening in this world. I know what's going on. I don't like it. I don't like the fact that people are being bullied into silence. I don't like the fact that people can't just be themselves and try to do something positive for someone else, which by the way, I still am and I don't put those details out into the public because they can't attack what they don't know. But I'm still doing my thing. I'm an advocate for Cures for Childhood Cancer. I returned to advocacy this year on March 10th, and I talk about my life. And the Sunday video update, not only is it the past week in review, but it's also kind of a reflection of my life and the things that I like to talk about. And here, I'm as real as I can be. And I try to give everybody a fair chance. I try to give everyone a fair shake, but sometimes it's not always possible. There are people who get offended over everything, or they say they're offended to spite people. They don't like good people who are trying to do good things. Welcome back, Wilbur. They don't like people who are trying to actually make a positive difference in someone's life because it's not them doing it. Yeah, you can swear in the chat, just no racial slurs. The same rules apply in this chat as is the case with other chats that I've done. Um, but I'm really sick and tired of these people who are just so pissed. They are so angry at the world. They don't like to see people trying to do good things because they're not the ones doing it. They didn't think of it first. Well, too fucking bad. You know, again, instead of investing all of your negative energy into taking someone down, in this case me, because I guess I'm such an easy target, instead of wasting and investing so much of your time trying to take down certain people, why don't you use that energy in a positive light and help somebody? Donate to food banks, donate to churches, uh, do whatever you think you need to do to help someone else thrive and survive. Do something positive to help improve someone else's life. Show them that they are worthy of your time. Just because you don't agree with what I do or how I do things on YouTube does not give you the fucking right, not saying you particularly in chat, I'm saying anybody who has a problem with me, it does not give you the right to make shit up to try to have me taken down because I'm always going to bounce back. You can't get rid of me that easily. So, um, I'm really, I'm really, I want to say frustrated in a sense. I'm not frustrated that All Things Jared was taken down because that was just a YouTube channel, right? It's just a YouTube channel, not a big deal. It may, however, have been a big deal to 1,600 plus subscribers that I had on that channel. And now with the Jared Fuller Show, now I have to try to build those subscribers back up. But here's the thing. When I do the shout, because I've got a few shout out videos. In fact, the last one was uploaded about 20 minutes ago. So now that I'm back into doing shout out videos on the Jared Fuller Show, I'm using my own custom thumbnail, which is a green background and it just says subscribe alert, the Jared Fuller Show. That's all it says. I'm not using um, anyone's actual, um, I'm not taking screenshots of your, excuse me, homepage on YouTube. I don't know if Kaleo knows about this channel. About, you mean about the Jared Fuller Show? I would like to think he does, because I want Kaleo to see the Jared Fuller Show. Yeah, I'm friends with Kaleo's parents, so they may not approve of the content on this channel because of all the swearing, but um, I would like for him to be aware of the Jared Fuller Show. And I did do the very first shout out video I did on the Jared Fuller Show was for Kaleo. So I'm hoping he sees it. I'm hoping that he got the notification. And, I hope everything works out. But isn't he too young to watch the show? No, he wasn't too young for All Things Jared. Why would he be too young for the Jared Fuller Show? Um, and this is actually what I want to do with the Jared Fuller Show. This is the direction that I want to take the Jared Fuller Show. I want to do sketch comedy, um, because everybody says I have a good sense of humor and I have a bit of an eye for doing the animations like Dodge the Trucker. It's time consuming, but it was worth it in the end when you're putting it all together. Um, I want to add a new flavor. I want to do sketch comedy where I can do split screen, where I can play 2, 3 characters at once. And I have some ideas, but I'm not going to put them out there. I want for my content to be a surprise. Or I just might, in regular clothes, I might just you know, put on a backwards hat, for my other character, I might just put on a backwards hat and say, "Hey, what's this?" Just to be funny or something like that, or wear my hat sideways, like, you know. Um, Probably not quite that silly, but who knows? I might come up with something like that. Um, you've never heard me say curse words? Well, welcome to the dark side. No, as I've explained, King Bob, this is the uncensored version of me, of Jer Bear. This is me being real and authentic. Now, I'm not saying that I wasn't real and authentic on all things Jared, but I had to keep it civil for the younger audiences, which is why I'm saying I'm hoping that Kaleo will notice the Jared Fuller show, and I'm hoping that he'll subscribe. I don't know if I probably won't be doing live streams. Um, I won't be doing live streams on the Jared Fuller show. I'm probably going to pre-record all the content, edit, upload, and just be done and have a presentation for everybody. I'm not going to do live streams on that channel. You already said I'm allowed to say curse words in this chat. Yes. Yes. I'm saying them out loud through this microphone. So it's like, say whatever the fuck you want. Just make sure it's not racial. I don't want racial slurs. Don't be saying anything homophobic or transphobic, because that won't be tolerated at all. So if you're going to swear, at least um, keep it within reason. Because if you notice, it feels strange to say curse words in chats. Well, here, let me get the ball rolling here. Let me help you out here, and let me know what you think. There. How do you like that, King Bob? How do you like those apples? You like that? Um, but yeah, this is definitely a side of me you've never seen before. So yeah, fuckity fuck. Yeah. So won't the stream get taken down after people saying racial? Yeah. So that's why we're not saying racial slurs. We're not saying anything that is going to cause problems. Um, so or it could be age restricted. It could be. I don't know. I don't know how that works. But anyway, yeah, this is a side of me that most people have not seen before. This is the uncensored, unfiltered, gloves off Jared Bear. But I am the same guy from All Things Jared. I'm the same guy who's going to be featured a lot over on the Jared Fuller show. I'm trying to I'm not saying I have multiple personalities, because it's always going to be me. This right here, it's always going to be me, but on the other channel, I have to be very careful on what I say, what I do, and of course, with Dodge the Trucker, that's always yeah. All Things Jared was kind of like a trial run, although the trial run lasted for nearly 4 years, Wilbur, and I had over 1,600 subscribers. Um, but I do appreciate all the love and support. What rhymes with trucker? Fucker. Um, but we're not going to be, I'm not going to change Dodge the Trucker. That's the name I given it, and that's the name that I'm sticking with. What rhymes with itch? Bitch. What more do you want me to say? I'm not going to say anything racial, but um, because I'm not a racist, and I'm not homophobic, I'm not transphobic. So you're not going to get me to say anything that I know I'm not going to say. And if you try anything in chat, you're gone. Truck, duck, pluck. Yeah. And cluck. 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 Muck. Buck. Tuck. Um, yeah. Puck. Yep. So anyway, yeah, we're gonna give the Jared Fuller show a try. And this time also, I'm going to save all of my videos like in a folder on my desktop. So that way they can't, if the channel should happen to just up and disappear, I'll still have all the content because I um I can't I can't invest all this time and then not save the work. I might even get a separate flash drive and save it on a separate flash drive. So that way all I gotta do is plug it in. It should all things or no, I'm sorry, not all things Jared. If the Jared Fuller show should just up and disappear again, um, I'll have all of that saved on an external uh drive. So um that was probably one of the mistakes I made was not backing up all the files. However, the shout out videos, like I said, the shout out videos are going to be different. And I'm not going to be taking, like I said, I won't be taking screenshots of your YouTube channel. I'm going to use my own customized thumbnail, which is a green screen and it says subscribe alert in white letters. And underneath it says the Jared Fuller Show. Um, I just unlocked a feature on the Jared Fuller Show, which means that I was able to um, do community post. I just unlocked that feature. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to check out that channel right now, the Jared Fuller Show. Okay. I have 23 subscribers. And I made a trailer for the video or for the channel rather. Miss Duck, Alaric Music, Blade Weather, Spinette, Miss Duck. Yeah, that one gay kid. Yeah. So I'm excited about where this new channel is gonna go. Um, but I'm gonna play my cards just right, I think. And try to do things on a more more carefully. I honestly don't care if you use my profile. Well, that's just it, King Bob. You may not care, but it may be a violation of YouTube's guidelines for whatever fucking reason. I don't know why it would be, but let's get you to 1,600 subscribers. I would love that, but not on this channel. I want it to be more over on the Jared Fuller Show. I want all those 1,600 subscribers back on the Jared Fuller Show. I'm at 23, so I got a long way to go. Um, I got about 1,577 more to go before I get that number again. And sadly, I may not get to that number. And I honestly hope I don't get to that number if I can be real with you, Wilbur, because how many of those were actually trolls that was making up for the population of subscribers on All Things Jared? I don't want a repeat performance. So even if I don't reach 1,600, let's say I reach 1,000, or let's say maybe even 900 or 800. It doesn't matter. Um, I'm okay with that too. Uh, but the thing is I have to be very careful this time. So, um, I don't want to break any rules. That's not what I'm here for. Although evidently I had broken some rules or I violated some guidelines on All Things Jared, and I didn't even know I did. It's like I know it had to have been people reporting the channel. It had to have been because again, the channel lasted for nearly 4 years, and then all of a sudden I have a bunch of reports, or not a bunch of reports, but I have a bunch of people coming on the channel, and then all of a sudden after nearly 4 years, it's gone. Like, what the fuck? It was just it's too coincidental to be, just anything other than what that is. So I agree with what Wilbur said previously. Um, but in any event, this week, my plans this week, I might be going out to the Pine Run Inn tomorrow night for the Monday flashback, and which, by the way, I do have a link in the chat. It's the very first comment in the chat. It is the Fox Sunday flashback, which I pinned in the chat. So that way you guys, all you gotta do is click on the link at 7 o'clock tonight. Um, Oh, I got some comments on a couple of my posts and a sneak peek for Funny Windows Errors Season 1, Episode 3, and they were by an imposter pretending to be you. But most of the comments were on my most viewed video. Yeah. And again, Wilbur, these are people who are they are internet nothings. They are nobodies. They are in mommy and daddy's basement, or they are just pissed off at the world that they've been doing this shit for years. They've been harassing me for years. And it's really something that when a person, it's like they have no life and they find the time to invest all of their time into coming after me. I must be very special to these fucking idiots. Otherwise, they wouldn't put so much effort into trying to take me down. I'm sorry, but I have better things to do with my time than to sit around and make up fake YouTube channels and to come up with fake names and to come up with some bullshit about somebody just because I don't like how they do things. Who hurt them? You know, that's always been a recurring question of mine. Who hurt these people? Why do they act like that? Do they get their jollies out of fucking around and having someone's channel taken down? It's just it's stupid. It's beyond it's not frustrating, it's sad. And you know, I don't have to put up with that shit, and I'm not going to. Um, thank you very much, King Bob. I will pass along the message to my dad. Um, but there are some genuinely sad, angry, frustrated people in the world. They have nothing better to do with their time. Instead of trying to make this world a better place, they would rather sit behind a keyboard in their infinite anonymity and critique someone else's way of doing things. If you think you can do better than I can, then fucking do it. No one's stopping you. No one's preventing you from doing better than I am. I encourage you to be a better person. Quit being a whiny, trolling little bitch and get off your ass and do something positive in the world. You know, I don't care that you don't personally like me. I couldn't give a shit less what you think. I'm doing my thing. So, you know, there's that. An old chatter is about to join this chat. Who? King Bob. The most viewed video had 13,000 views as of April 2025. They were by people pretending to be my own mother. Do you remember the first comment saying if I had the chance to kiss you, I would? Yeah, I remember something about that, and it was fucking just disgusting. I would never ever do that. I know you wouldn't. Um, it's people are sick now. For anybody to come up, for anybody. And how do you know that George Washington's about to join King Bob? Are you double browsing? Are you pretending to be George Washington? Just curious. Um, I forgot where I was going with the comment. No, not maybe. It's yes or no. Are you double browsing or aren't you? Are you pretending to be George Washington or are you not? There's no maybe. It's yes or no. Just be honest. It's not hard. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. Fucking be honest. I don't like people who are gonna play this little game. Oh, maybe, sorta, kinda. No, it's yes or fucking no. It's not sorta, kinda, maybe. Just be honest. When I ask you a yes or no question, just be honest. Well, here's the thing. King Bob, um, I'm not playing this game. I'm not playing this game. So, I'm sorry, King Bob, I'm not playing this game. I don't care if he's your cousin. You say he's your cousin. But here's the thing. I asked you if you're double browsing, and you said maybe. So is that a yes? I don't like liars. It's a yes or a no question, King Bob. No, I'm not joking, King Bob. I'm being honest and I'm being serious. When I ask you a question, I expect a yes or a no. I'm not playing this game. I put up with this shit over on my other channel and it got old really fast. So, are you double browsing or are you not? It's a yes or a no. Thank you. That's all I asked. It wasn't so hard, was it? God. So, I'm going to be here. I'm usually here for about an hour. So, yeah, I go from 3 until 4. I talk about the week in review. I've been doing this for a very long time. And for the longest time, I didn't have a chat in my on my live streams, and I may go back to cutting off the chat so I don't have to put up with this bullshit with people who suddenly, they think it's funny when I ask a question, and then all of a sudden they want to joke around when I'm being serious. I put up with this kind of shit on the other channel. I'm not I'm not hip on that. Okay? It's just not cool. Just be honest. So, George Washington is gone from my channel. I'm not going to put up with it. Um, and over on the other channel on All Things Jared, I tried to be civil with people. I tried. And what happened was I was too nice. I was too nice. And then things got out of hand. Here, I'm not fucking around. You'll get the purple boot into fuck off purple oblivion if I so choose to do so. Now, I'm not being mean. I'm being straight. I put up with this shit for too long and I'm done. I've had all I'm gonna take. You know, I try to give everybody um my cousin is honestly an idiot. He does this with other YouTubers. Well, I'm not impressed, King Bob. I'm just not impressed. I've been doing this for too long to give two shits and a fuck about someone who just wants to come into a chat log and to be thinking he's going to be a wise guy by trolling. I don't know. Again, I put up with that on All Things Jared and I tried to be civil about it, but on this channel it's not going to fucking happen. Yeah, this is a side of Jerry Bear you have never seen before. This guy is actually telling somebody off. You're fucking right, I am, because I put up with it for too fucking long. I'm over it. I am over it. I'm not doing it anymore. I don't have time for this shit. I'm getting too old for this shit. You know, I'm fucking almost 40 years old. I'm going to be 40 years old next year. I don't have time to put up with bullshit. You know, I'm getting too old for this shit. So, you know, anyway, back to what I was saying, which I totally fucking forgot what I was talking about, being distracted by idiots in chat. Jared, was this George Washington guy a troll account? I don't know. I'm starting to think it's King Bob double browsing, and because I put him on the spot, he wants to say it's not when it is. I don't want to be accusatory, but you kind of hesitated when I asked you the question, and you just didn't want to be honest the first time around. So makes me think now. I'm not double browsing. I don't even have a second account. Well, how do I know that? How do I know that? At least I'm being honest and saying that the Jared Fuller Show is my other channel. I don't have to pretend as though that's not me. Just like with All Things Jared, I don't have to pretend that that wasn't me. That was really me. I'm fed up. I'm tired of the bullshit games. Mm, Stomach kinda hurts a little bit. But anyway, I've got about 15 minutes left in the show, and as I was saying, now I remember, I go live every Sunday from about 3 until 4. I've been doing this on this channel for any number of years, and, sometimes once in a while, I'll upload some random content to the channel, and yes, there may be swearing, there may be something that, you know but this is again, this is the real me. This is the no bullshit, gloves off Jer Bear. And I just don't have time for the bullshit. I just don't. Um, so and I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to be nice. I, I'm trying to be civil. Oh, my stomach. I'm trying to be civil, but at the same time, I got to put my foot down. There's got to be lines drawn. Okay, I can't put up with this. This bullshit nonsense that I've had to put up with on the other channel. It's just not funny anymore. It stopped being funny a long fucking time ago. Did you report all the trolls both of us encountered in December? Wilbur, I like to say that it makes a difference, but it really doesn't because they'll just turn right around and make another account again. Oh, my stomach hurts. Ugh. Oh, stomach's cramping up. Damn. But, I'm not trying to be a prick. I'm not trying to be, but I'm not going to tolerate bullshit. I think I've made my point. And yeah, so I got about 10 minutes left in the show, and I have to go to my brother's house in Saginaw. I'm so dirty right there. I have to go to my brother's house in Saginaw, and because today's my dad's birthday. Blade, Blade, there's a guy I wanted to see. What's happening, my brother? So I've been dropping a lot of f bombs. You've missed it. The playback will be available later, but I have dropped a lot of f bombs. You can ask Wilbur. Um, because again, just to get you up to speed, Blade. Um, I have told King Bob and Wilbur in chat that I'm done fucking around. I'm done playing games. I put up with this shit on All Things Jared for far too long, and I tried to be nice about it. And here, I will fucking tell you off. Hello, Spinette. How you doing, buddy? Yeah, I just said an F word. You're also you're on time. You're on time, Spinette. You just caught me saying the fuck word. This channel here is where the gloves come off. This is the uncensored version of the Jer Bear that you've known from All Things Jer for almost nearly 4 years. I've had this channel for nearly 10 years, Spinette and and Blade, but I've tried to keep this channel separate from All Things Jer because I didn't want for you to be distracted by this channel when I wanted you to be focused on All Things Jared. I didn't want for this channel to detract you away from what was actually, because I tried to bring positivity and I tried to reinforce positivity and inspiration on All Things Jared. Apparently, some people didn't like it, and so I think that's why All Things Jared was taken down because YouTube had gotten mass reports from trolls, and um, I'm over here on this channel. I've had this channel for nearly 10 years. This May 27th, I'm here with my friend, the Ant Kings. He's currently, well, tell the Ant Kings I said hello. I will get a new shout out video for him. I just got one for you, Spinette. I hope you saw that. I will get a new one for the Ant Kings. I'm trying to do things differently on the Jared Fuller show. Um, and I've outlined quite a bit here. So you would probably have to um, watch the playback after this is done. But um, I'm trying to do things differently on the Jared Fuller show. And Here, like I said before, and I pointed out before, here, this is the uncensored gloves off. I'll be going now. Bye, Jared. Okay, Spinat. Well, it's good seeing you again, buddy. This is the gloves off version of me. Now, this is not to say that I have a multiple personality thing going on. That's not true. I have always been this, but on All Things Jared and now the Jared Fuller Show, I have to keep it within reason. I have to be civil because there may be younger audiences watching. And so I have to make sure that the content is family friendly. But here, it's you know, no holds barred. Did I get banned from this chat? No, King Bob, you didn't. Um, I got a mod. I actually do my own moderation on this channel, Blade. It's not to be disrespectful, but the chat really isn't as busy like this normally, so I don't really have chat mods. Um, but as I pointed out earlier before Spinet, and I think it was you and Spinet came in, um, over here, I don't tolerate bullshit. I will be fucking straight with everybody. If you're gonna come in my chat being a douche, you're gone. And it won't take me all but 2 seconds to give someone the purple fuck you boot into oblivion, and that'll be the end of them. But I couldn't say fuck on All Things Jared because, it's for kids. So I had to be careful. But I'm really excited about where um, uh, the Jared Fuller Show is going to go. I have some ideas, and I'm really excited. It's going to take a lot more work, and I'm going to back up the videos. I'm going to have some backup story. Also, I'm still calling you All Things Jared for the memory. Yeah, I'm actually Jared Fuller. That's my actual name, and so the Jared Fuller Show, basically, it's just a channel named after me again, And I want to point out again, as I have already pointed out, because I have 8 minutes here left in the show, and I appreciate everybody watching. There are people in this world who are, for whatever reason, they're just angry. They're just mad. They're just frustrated. I always try, and with All Things Jared, one of the main points that I tried to make on that channel was if you have pent up negative energy, use it for the good, use it for the positive. Be passionate. Instead of being passionate about being a fucking internet troll trying to bring down people who aren't doing anything wrong, why don't you do something positive? These keyboard warriors that I deal with, um, are just, it's like I've had to deal with the shit, and I had to bite my tongue on All Things Jared, and I'll definitely have to bite my tongue on the Jared Fuller Show. But I won't be doing live streams on the Jared Fuller Show. I don't care, if I have 1,000 subscribers or not. There will be no live streams on the Jared Fuller Show. Here, I will, there's going to be live streams. There's been live streams on this channel for nearly, I would say for, um, hell, I don't know, since the 20 teens. I don't even remember the very first live stream I did on this channel, but I've been doing this for a very long time. The Sunday video updates like these, they actually used to be pre-recorded. They were, pre-recorded, and then I would go through and edit and then upload, and that took nearly that took hours just to upload one video because the videos would be so long. And so it's like, I'm tired of fucking waiting around. I'll start doing live streams. And then once I click on end live stream, the video will already be there. It'll be good. Now, with the Jared Fuller Show, there will be no live streams. It's all going to be pre-recorded content, which is going to be fun in the editing process of things because I enjoy doing that. I enjoy entertaining. I enjoy educating. I enjoy doing a lot for people. I'm trying to make this world a better place, as corny as that might sound. And the people who are some people in the back who are watching, oh, Jared, you're just talking, blowing sunshine up people's skirts by saying that when you're a horrible person in real life. I'm not a horrible person in real life, and I have done quite a bit to help other people thrive and benefit. I'm a child of cancer survivor of 36 years. Sometimes you're just pushed into things that makes you see the bigger picture and what life is truly about. You don't have to dwell on the bad things that have happened to you. Instead, you can use them as a stepping stone. You can use your own trials as inspiration to help lift up other people who are in similar situations. And I have the same attitude here as I did on All Things Jared. It's just here I use more colorful language. I don't think it's going to make anyone's world crumble to pieces. I think you can handle a fuck word every now and then. It's not going to hurt you. But I do genuinely love and care about people. I always have. Even when I was a kid. Um, I was a bit of a loner when I was a kid, so I still have that way about me. Like I still like my alone time. I still like to remove myself and detach myself from the bigger picture just for a little while so I can recoup, I can gather my thoughts, I can come back a different person, a brand new person than I was prior, just only 20 minutes ago. I need my alone time. And usually my dad and Amy are joining me off camera every week when I do these live streams. I've been doing the Sunday video update for a very long time. And I've even had people trying to tell me how to do my own fucking show. And this is my show that I've been doing for I would, if I had to guess, I would say I'm going on 10 years doing the Sunday video updates. I'm coming close if I'm not already there. Because I think I was doing Sunday video updates in 2015. I think. I really don't know. Um, but in any event, people are pissed. They call me all kinds of names. They call me a pedophile. They call me a predator. They call me a creep. They call me a this. They call me a that. But yet they never have evidence for the claim they make. And that's been one of the main themes of this channel, which I talk about when I'm calling people out on their bullshit and they want to accuse me of saying and doing something. And I say, show me the proof, show me the evidence where this happened. And if you can't back up your claims with evidence, then sit down and shut the fuck up. And I don't want to hear from you ever fucking again. And I do add emphasis to that because evidence is, it's kind of important. I don't put up with gossip. I don't put up with drama. I don't put up with bullshit. I just don't. I have a very, very thin patience for stupidity and liars. Very thin. My fingers are almost touching. That's how thin of patience I have for liars and people who are just stupid. I don't put up with it. A lot of things I do not tolerate. And even if it means people are viewing me as this, well, Jared is just being an asshole and he's just mouthing off and giving me attitude. Well, then so fucking be it. I'm not going to put up with it no more. And I don't encourage young people to be arrogant assholes. However, I encourage people to stand their ground. Don't take shit from anybody. And that's kind of my, that's what I am. That's what I'm about. That's who I am. I don't put up with shit from anybody. And on All Things Jared, I kind of had to bite my tongue. I had to let a lot of shit go. But on this channel, no fucking way. No. If you come here being a douche nozzle, your ass is gone. I won't tolerate it. And I can say pretty much whatever I want here, except, of course, like I said, I'm not a racist, I'm not a homophobe, and I'm not a transphobe. And I will not tolerate it in my chats here either. So, now that the cat's out of the bag, so to speak, and I've given you all the real version of me where I don't have to watch what I say, and this is kind of, that's why I put the parental labels on the thumbnails on these live streams, because it is to give out the signal that this is going to contain language that is not suitable. And I even put that as a disclaimer on this channel itself. So if you can't see that between the thumbnails and the disclaimer that I had written out, there's seriously something fucking wrong. So I'm going to end it on that note. We have reached the 4 o'clock mark. It is 4 o'clock p.m. here in Michigan. My name is Jared Fuller, aka the Jared Bear. I will be back next week. I have to get going to Saginaw because I have to go to my brother's house. Today is my dad's birthday. He turned 67 today. So, Dad, I love you, and I will see you in just a little while. You all have a great week, and I will be back again next week on Sunday, April 13th, 2025. So I love y'all. Think about what I said and, just keep standing your ground and don't let people push you around. Get out there and you try to make the world a better place. I'll see you next time. See you next week. Bye bye.